Hey, Steve here, and whether or not you've been playing acoustic guitar your whole life, or maybe you're more of an electric player that's looking for the ideal acoustic guitar, I want to introduce you to a company called Furch Guitars. Now, Furch Guitars have a fantastic feel, a full and balanced sound, which we're going to listen to. They have very unique voicing and design, and they also focus on the details and the quality, which ultimately leads to an incredibly beautiful, highly comfortable, and great sounding acoustic guitar. And today we're actually going to be looking at 3 of their guitars. Now, the Furch acoustic guitar is a European company. It's family-based, and it's been developing acoustic guitars since the 70s, but really started coming to their own style and design, moving into the 80s and then into the 90s and certainly in today. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at 3 different acoustic guitars of theirs. Now, this one right here is one of their green guitars. Now, each of their series of guitars are based off the visual light spectrum. That's how they name them. And they start with violet, and then they go to indigo, and then they go to blue, and then green, which is what this is. And then they move to yellow, orange, red, and ultimately rainbow. And rainbow is where you can customize your guitar any way you like. You can design the guitar for yourself. They also have what's called the Little Jane, which is a travel guitar that we're going to be taking a look at in just a little bit. It's one of the 3 guitars that we're going to look at. And they also offer a lot of different things like left-handed guitars, 9-string, 12-string, a baritone, and they have acoustic guitars, acoustic bass guitars as well. Now, the body styles can range anywhere from grand auditorium to orchestra and dreadnought and many others. And oftentimes, many come with LR Baggs electronic systems. You can get them either with or without. This one actually has an LR Baggs system built into it. The next one I show you will not. So there's lots of different options in design. There's many body choices and tone woods available. And you can choose from different LR Baggs electronics as well. So there's a whole lot of different options that are available to you depending on what it is that you're looking for. Now, you can check out their website at furchguitars.com and learn all about the different options that are available. You can also find retailers near you where you can actually try one out. Now, for me, growing up being primarily an electric guitar player and always enjoying acoustic but struggling with being able to find the right one that really played well, and then alongside that, growing up in North Dakota where you're always dealing with humidity, where in the summertime it's really high humidity, and in the wintertime, of course, there's virtually no humidity. And there's some really unique things about the Furch acoustic guitars that I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is just the playability. When I first took this out of the guitar case, what I noticed is 2 things. Number one, there's a really balanced and full guitar tone. So full, as a matter of fact, that right now I'm using a pretty thin guitar pick. And it just sounds beautiful. But for me, equally as important as how it sounds is how it plays. And so what I really like about this is that the neck, and we're going to talk about some of these things as well in particular, but the neck is very, very smooth and it's not overly thick. It's very comfortable to play. And because of this unique design we're going to talk about in the neck, the stability of the neck and the comfortability of being able to play the strings, for instance, chords all the way up the neck is really, really comfortable. Where sometimes you find that as you move up the neck, it gets harder and harder to play, or maybe the strings are really far away from the neck to begin with. This right out of the guitar case just felt really comfortable. But I want to show you this. If I play with this acoustic or with this sort of medium pick, you know, again, a very balanced tone, but let me move to this. This is the picks I usually use, a bit thicker. There's a lot of punch and availability of volume in this guitar, which is just super cool. So with this one being the green, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about some of the specifics about the Furch guitars and let you kind of check out what they do. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is inside here. It's right in the heel right here where the neck and the body meet, and it's called the CNR. And what that stands for is Composite Neck Reinforcement. Okay, what it consists of is an adjustable truss rod like most guitars have that runs through this device. And it's placed inside, that truss rod is placed inside a carbon casing that's within the heel of this neck. And if you go to the website, you can check out I think there's a video on there, and there's certainly pictures of it as well. But basically what happens is where the neck and the body come together, they create up to a 90% stabilization rate of the guitar neck. So when you're dealing with, for instance, different humidity and different things like that, or let's say maybe you like to change your strings from thinner strings to thicker strings quite frequently, what that does, that CNR that's existing in there, is it helps to stabilize the movement of that guitar neck a lot more, so you're not dealing with that fluctuation all the time, which reinforces everything, obviously, and also contributes to the tone and overall feel of the guitar as well. Which is really important, again, for people like me that deal with humidity fluctuations that happen quite frequently. It's nice to have a guitar neck that stays more stable. And again, they claim up to 90% more stable, which is pretty impressive. So that's one thing that I really want to point out to you, I think is really important. They also use what's called a UV cured finish. And what that is an extra thin finish that's put on the guitars, but it actually is extra durable and it adds far more protection. And what that does is it actually adds to the tone, the resonance, and the sustain of the guitar, which converts overall to a louder and more vibrant sounding instrument. But it keeps the girth of the guitar down, which is really cool. All right, so let's just listen to this a little bit. Now, this one is using the LR bag system. I'm plugged directly into my audio interface here. But of course, my vocal mic is picking it up because it is so present and bold. But let's just take a little listen here. It just sounds really nice and really full, really clean. And like I said, it's amazing to me because if I use my standard pick that I would use for other acoustic guitars I own, it's just really, really, really bold. So I've gone to a little bit thinner guitar pick for this. So that is the Green by Furch Guitar. Let's take a look at another one here. Another awesome feature is what they call the full pour smooth slide satin finish, which is on the guitar neck, and it makes it really easy for you to slide your hands back and forth. And combined with the coated guitar strings like Elixir, which actually comes standard on the Furch guitars, it makes it overall much, much easier to play and move around the guitar neck. All right, so next up we're going to be looking at one of Furch's Indigo guitars. Okay, so this is one of the lesser expensive ones in the line. And this one does not come with an LR bags. This one that they sent me, of course, they have all kinds of different options. But I wanted to show you what this sounds like directly through my vocal microphone. I've just got an overhead here sitting here, and this is what it would sound like. So again, very bold. So as you can see, it really does hold its own, even not being plugged in, even just using this overhead microphone. It just sounds really awesome, and again, feels really great. All right, and finally, we're going to be looking at this travel guitar, which is what I find really, really interesting. And again, plays great. I've already had it out of the bag and messed with it a little bit, but I want to show you what it looks like. This is the Little Jane, and it comes in this little travel bag like this. And what you do is when you open it, okay, it looks like this, which is really unique. The guitar neck is actually, here is the top, the headstock. And when you take it out, you can see right here is where the guitar neck is. So this pops out, okay? And then you attach the top to this. Like that. And then what I do is there's a little connector here. I put the guitar neck up here, and then I grasp it with this thing. There we go. And pull it back. And there's your guitar. Now we'll just tune it up really quick here. Okay. All right, so there we have it. I've got it plugged in here so we can hear what it sounds like. Okay, so just a little travel guitar. Obviously, it breaks down very easily, goes back in the guitar case, and then whenever you need it, you can just pull that guitar neck out and clip that back on with that little snap on the top, and you're ready to go. And if you're my size, this is probably the right size guitar anyway. Yeah, it just feels great. Again, what I love about this, I remember a long time ago struggling with trying to find the right acoustic guitar to play because I always just felt like they weren't made for players like me, players with maybe smaller hands, and certainly, again, coming from an electric guitar background and really not having the strength of a lot of acoustic guitar players, and wanting to find something where I could actually, you know, feel a little more comfortable with being able to manipulate a little bit more and that sort of playing. And, you know, I've come across a couple of different companies over time that has done a really good job. But one thing that I think is amazing about these Furch guitars is that, again, when I pull them out of the guitar case, they feel really good right away. The neck is very smooth. The strings are really close to the fretboard, which I really like. And just the fact that they're very stable. You know, those other two guitars that I showed you, the idea that I wouldn't have to bring them in for constant truss rod adjustments and things like that is really important to me. They look wonderful. They play amazing. And again, you should definitely check them out. Head over to furchguitars.com and see what they've got to offer that might fit you. And again, there's some retailers that you can look up from their website. And I'd also like to thank Guitar World for this opportunity to make a video to help you out a little bit and maybe trying to find something else that suits your guitar needs and elevates your playing and, of course, motivates you to keep doing what you're doing. So take care, stay positive, and I'll talk to you soon.